Friends, I'm making this video because what I noticed is when you are executing this ninth program of our lab, PHP lab, there is a lot of confusion, like you're not paying attention to the HTML form that you're using, you're not paying attention to the table that you are creating, and then there is a mismatch of the columns, there is a mismatch of your input type names, and the record do not get added to your table. So let us see some important points. Okay. Now the first thing that you should concentrate on is your HTML form. I'll just take the pen. So the first thing that you are going to concentrate is your HTML form. So where is this HTML form? It's there in our ninth program. And in our ninth program, we start with this form. What is the purpose of this form? The purpose of this form is to accept the input from the users. Okay, how many inputs are you accepting? So this is the label. Okay, first name is the label, last name is the label, and email is the label. So we are accepting first name from the user. So to accept the input from the user in our form, we have input. We have the input tag. Now in this input tag, the type is text, and this attribute is very important. So in our form, in our HTML form, there is an input type for the first name, and whatever input we accept from the user using this form will be known as, or its name is going to be first name. This name attribute is compulsory if you want to store this data into your database. Okay. Now after that there is one more label, last name. So we want to accept last name from the user, and because we want to accept from the user, there is an input tag, right? The type is text. Again, there is an attribute called as name. So there is a name attribute. For first input, the name is first name. For the second input, the name is last name. And for email, there is a label called as email. And there is the input tag, right? The type is email, and again the main attribute that we are going to concern is name. So the third input that we are going to accept from the user, the name of that input is email. So see, we are accepting three inputs from the user. First input is first name, the name we have given as first name. The second input that we are accepting is last name, and we have given the same name as the last name. And the third input that we are accepting from the user is email, and the name given to that input is email. So this name attribute is compulsory and very important where in our HTML form. Okay, next. In our next part of the program, what is there? There is the server side programming, or I can say there is a PHP program. In PHP program, what all is needed? So we need a server name. Since we are using Apache server, we are going to use server name as localhost. Username is root and password is empty. Okay. And here if you see, there is a database DB name, and these are what are these? Dollar server name, dollar username, dollar password, dollar DB name. What are these? These are the PHP variable, and in this variable we are storing some value. Server name, we are storing the value localhost. In username, we are storing the value root. In password, we are storing the value null because it's empty. And in DB name, that is our database name, we are storing the value company. Now when I'm saying company, when we are seeing like there is a name called as there is a database whose name is company, so it simply means that you already have created this database. Okay. In my program, I have not given you the create database query. So you are going to go to PHP my admin, go there, create a new database. Under that new database whose name is company, you are going to create the table. So which table we will see afterwards. Okay. So it has been assumed that you have created a database company. How you have created? Directly you have gone to PHP my admin and you have created this database. Fine. Then there is a connection. We are establishing the connection and we are checking whether the connection is been done or not. Now the important part here that I want to discuss is this part. What is this part? This is the if condition. We are going to check whether user has clicked on the submit button. That's all right. Next, see here. There are three more variables. First, dollar first name, dollar last name, dollar email. Which are these variables? These are our PHP variable. At our server side, we are going to read the form data and store those form data into these variables. Okay. Now the first form data that we are going to read is the first name. What is the form data that we are reading? We are reading the form data first name. What is this dollar underscore post? This is the global variable and we are using it because in our form we have used the method post. So let's go back. Let's come back to the form and here you can see this is our form tag and the method is post. This is the form tag and the method is post and the first input is first name. The first input is first name. So this input we are reading. Where are we reading it? We are reading it over here. Dollar post first name. So first form input is read here and whatever user types in that box is stored into our PHP variable known as dollar first name. Similarly, the second form input that we are going to capture by dollar post variable because the method of the form is post. So this is how we are capturing the input given by the user as the last name and we are going to read that input and store into the PHP variable dollar last name. The third input that user has given in our form is read or captured as email and after reading that input we are going to store that input email into the variable dollar email. Okay, so these are the form inputs. This side I'll just take the pen. So this side is the form input and all this form input, what are we doing? We are storing it into our PHP variable. Now why are we storing this form input into the PHP variable? Because we want to store this input into the MySQL table. Okay, and it is not possible directly to store the input of the form into the table, MySQL table. So we are going to read the form data, store it into the PHP variable, then use this PHP variable and store this data into our MySQL table. So let us see the next slide. This is reading form data and store into the PHP variable. That's what we have done in this slide. Next slide. As I mentioned earlier, like before you create or before you execute any queries, it is been compulsory you have to make sure that you have that particular database. So I have already gone to phpMyAdmin and I have created the database called as company and under that database company I am creating the table employee because in my insert query in our program there is an insert query and what this insert query is telling us, it says insert into employee. What is this employee? Employee is the table name. So we have to make sure that we create this table. So I have gone to phpMyAdmin, I typed employee and then I gave the field name or the column name for my employee table. So what are the column names that I have created? I have created ID, type is integer and the length of that field is 3. Then I have created first name, type is varchar, I have given 30 as the length. Then I have created one more column, last name, type is varchar and the length is 30 and I have created one more column of my table whose name is email, type is varchar and I have given the length as 25. Then you are going to click on this save button. You are creating the table in phpMyAdmin before you execute the insert query because if you don't have the database, if you don't have the table, this insert query is not going to work, right? Because the table does not exist, you are going to get the error. Now the moment you click on the save button, this is what you see. This is what you see. So you see the ID and there is a key, that means ID is a primary key. Now how to create the primary key? If you see here in this screenshot, this is our ID column. I have given integer 3 and there is this AI. AI stands for automatic increment, and I have checked this AI. Okay, once you check it, automatically your that particular field becomes the primary key. In our case, ID is the primary key. Fine. Then you see there is a first name, last name, and email, and varchar 30, varchar 30, varchar 25, ID is int 3. So our table is created. Be happy for that. And now we have to execute the program. Okay, so after executing the program, we are going to get this screen. So this is the screen that we are going to get after we execute the program. Then you fill the form data, whatever you want to fill. First name, type something. Last name, type something. Email you give, and then you have to click on the submit button. If everything is correct, your column names are correct, your input data names are correct, form data, and there is no error, you will get this alert window which says new record created successfully. Now I have not given you the select query in the program. So how are you going to see whether the records have been inserted or no? So what you are going to do, again you are going to go to your PHP My Admin, and after going to PHP My Admin, you just refresh that window, and here you can see, let me take the pen, and here you can see the data is being added. What is the data? ID is 1, which I did not insert ID, right? We inserted only the first name, last name and email. Since ID is auto increment, it's automatically this value has come to our ID, which is a primary key also. First name Smita, last name Desai, and this is the email that we have given. And our insert query successfully we have executed. That's all. Thank you.